Hey, hi all, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hi, welcome to Vintage Club 30. I've just gone live, but somehow or other my screen is playing tricks on me and I'm looking at some strange things, so please bear with me a second while I just try and sort this out, because my computer did something it shouldn't have done and I don't know why. Okay, I'm just going to have to live with it, I think. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Vintage Club 30. Welcome one and all. From strumming to fingerstyle, that's what we're looking at today. So no more of the piece of plastic in your hand. And say hello to the thumb and fingers. That's what we're going to be doing. The idea here, if you're a grade 1 beginner, you can access this. You can do what we're going to be doing today. Of course, if you're beyond grade 1, hopefully this is going to be fine and good and enjoyable for you as well. We're going to take some songs that are simply using grade 1 chords. D, A, E, for starters. They're the first chords that you will be learning on just in beginner course. If you can play C and one type of G, it doesn't matter which type of G, an A minor and an E minor, then you're going to be able to try and access all of the songs that we're going to look at. We're going to try and look at 3 songs. Shall I rate them like small, medium and large, where small is at 2 chords. It's going to be 2 chords. It's just going to be A and E. That's it. Medium is going to be a song that uses a C and a D and a G and an E minor. And then large because it's using all 5 of the chords actually, but also it's a little bit more complex. It has more parts that we'll have to work through. We're going to crack on. I've got a bit of blurb that I am going to talk about in a moment, but I want to get straight into this to get you playing. If you've got pencil and paper, pen and paper handy, that's going to be great. If you can maybe make notes. You've got to have your guitar here. You're playing along with me, otherwise, well, it's not much fun just to watch. I'm going to be playing, then I'm going to be stopping, and when I stop, I want you to carry on. Or when I do something simple like strum a chord for a bar, I want you to be doing something in between that. I'll just be providing the guidance. So have your guitars ready. Okay. I've just realised as well I wasn't on full screen. I told you my computer's playing tricks on me today. But anyway, we can see the slideshow and that's what I wanted to bring up. So here we are. Song number 1. This is the medium song, like the middle difficulty, if you like. And what we're looking at here is the count of the rhythm pattern. Now, if you were playing the chords and strumming them, you would call that a strumming pattern, and it's Old Faithful. If you've not encountered Old Faithful before, you will do very soon, because it's right in the beginner's course, module 6. I'm tempted to say, but I could be wrong on that. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I sent out the preview materials, and I'm hoping that somebody out there in the audience looked through them and had a little go at playing these. So with this rhythm, I'm picking up the plastic now. It's 1, 2, and 4. Down, down, up, up, down. And with the chords that I showed to you on the next page of the slides, I'm wondering if people already know what the song is. If you do, put it in the comments. I'd love to know how many of you have already clocked on to what songs we might be doing today. If you've also looked at the preview materials and think you know the other 2 songs, put your comments in there now as well. Maybe they're not guesses because it's so obvious. Maybe they are guesses, and I want to see your guesses come in. Okay, so this song here, song number 1, 1, 2, and 4. Down, down, up, up, down. Old Faithful. And what I'm going to do here, I want you to join in with me if you're ready, is play through that top row of chords 4 times. That's what the song does in like intro and verse. And then the next 2 rows, they get once each. And as soon as I've done that, I think you will know what the song is. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's once. That's twice, 2 more times, which would be the verse. The singing starts now. Once more on that top row. Now we're going to the bottom 2 rows, C. Okay, there's our song. Come on, what is it? What is it? Something about a girl with eyes of brown? I hope you all know that one. Somebody says Little Wing. Yes. All right, so that is the strumming for Brown Eyed Girl. Now, of course, if you're a pure raw beginner, you might not be able to manage that C chord because it's a stretch at first, and you might not have a way of doing that G chord because it's a stretch at first. I'm going to demonstrate how you can still access what we're doing when we're going to the fingerstyle. The crucial thing for all of you to remember with the fingerstyle, let me just come off that for a second, is that your thumb unwaveringly in this session, because it's a convention, it's not a hard fast rule, but it is a hard fast rule in what we're doing today. Your thumb is going to be assigned to strings 6, 5 and 4 only. That's it. If you've got a chord whose root note is on string 6, your thumb plays it. The same for string 5, same for string 4. And then index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger, 2nd string, ring finger on the high E string. What we're doing today is that, and that only. We're not changing those fingerings. I'd like you to stick with them. If you've not done this before, you might find that your fingers sort of fumble and fall, but it's a learning process. Most of the time, we're going to be playing the thumb note only on beat 1. And then our fingers are going to be walking up from 3rd to 2nd to 1st string, ascending in pitch, and then back down again. So it would be thumb, climb up, climb down, thumb, climb up, climb down. Having said that, the pattern that I'm going to show for this song doesn't quite do that. I wanted to vary it because it didn't sound great to my ears is all. On that G chord, I didn't particularly think that matched the sound of what I wanted to hear. That's the rhythm that we're going to be playing. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. But the order of those notes, I've altered them slightly. So, on each and every chord, 1 is going to be the root note of the chord on beat 1. And then 2 and 4 is going to be played as follows. Middle finger, 2nd string on the 2, index finger, 3rd string on the and. So on the G chord, 1, 2 and, 1, 2 and, thumb, middle, index. And then the rest of the rhythm, there's 4 notes, which is the and 4, is middle finger on the 2nd string, ring finger on the 1st string. Okay, let's try that. Is guitar and all back now. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, testing testing. Okay, good good. Sorry about that. I think I need to buy a new load of kit, don't I? I'm stuck in the dark ages with Windows 10. Okay, I'll repeat that then. G chord, thumb, middle, index, middle, ring. That's going to be on the G chord. On the C chord, it's the same, but we've got a different grip. The fingers do the same. The thumb is on string 5. 1, 2, and 4. On the D chord, it's the same on the fingers, but the thumb is on string 4. 1, 2, and 4. I'm going to give you a close-up on my picking hand as well here, so hopefully this will help. G chord, C chord, D chord. Now when it comes to the E minor, that's the same in your picking hand as the G, because we have a root note on string 6. Okay, so it's always thumb, middle, index, middle, ring. There's our picking pattern, and it's replaced Old Faithful, but it's the same rhythm, 2 and 4. So when it comes to thinking of the rhythm and counting the rhythm, it's not so helpful anymore to think down, down, up, up, down, because that's not actually what you're doing in your picking hand. You're not necessarily going down when the word would be down, and you're not necessarily coming up when the word would be up. So if you can learn to count 1, 2, and 4, just like in the rhythm, there it is, 1, 2, and 4, then that's going to be super helpful for you. Okay, here's the tab for what we're just looking at. This is for the intro of the song and the main beginning of the verse section. We'll go through it really nice and slow. I'll give you a moment to read it. So G, C, G, D. I'll do a counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. C. Back to G. D. Thumb, middle, index, middle, ring. 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 That's a mouthful. Now, if you were a classical guitarist, you'd be screaming at me to use P-I-M-A, wouldn't you? P, M, I, M, A, 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 where P is your thumb, if you didn't know. Okay, well, the next bit of the song, it's where it goes C to D to G to E minor. Same thing, so hopefully we can just continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now the next section, it repeats that almost identical, but the last chord isn't E minor, it's D again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the very last D, do you notice that I've cut the picking off short? 1, 2, and just allowing that note to ring out because it's giving us a pause before we launch into either the next verse or the chorus. Okay, let's go back to the entire chord progression and see if we can play through it one time in its entirety. Then we'll pause and then we'll have a second go. So if you fumble and fail, you're going to get 2 chances. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again with that. Two more times. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Last time on that. Now we move into the bottom. Last line. Okay, if you're ready, just carry on without me because what I want to do is take a brief moment to show any new raw beginners who haven't quite got the G and the C chord managed yet, a way that you can join in. So if you don't need that, keep practicing what you've just learned if you don't need that. Hopefully you've got either the preview materials or you've made a note or you've remembered it. Okay, for the G chord, if you can't yet play a G chord, all you need to do is put some sort of finger. I'm going to recommend finger 3 on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and you're going to play only these 3 strings for everything that we're looking at. So G would be those 3. C, all you need is your 1st finger on the 1st fret of string 2. And again, the 3 thinnest strings. D, well, you know, that chord that you know because that's the first one really. So I'm not going to talk about that one. So your picking pattern is going to work on just the 3 thinnest strings. You don't need your thumb. What you're going to do is this pattern. Index, middle, ring, middle, index. You are climbing to the top and climbing back down again. That 1, 2, and 4 pattern. That's your picking pattern. So with the G chord, C chord, G chord, D chord, it works. When it comes to the E minor, hey, this hand can take a rest. That is E minor. Think about that fingering. The 3 thinnest strings, they're not fretted. So that section would be G, E minor. Okay, so that is a way you can have a go at it. So if you want to join in with this one and the last with the proper C and G chords was a bit too much for you, have a go at it now. Okay, everybody, we're back in business. Let's find the one I need. Is that it? No, that wasn't the one I was using. It'll probably do. There, is that one okay? Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. You know what I did? I was locked into that pattern from the beginners. I beg your pardon. I'm going to start again. P-M-I-M-A. Come on, Richard, get it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Messed up? And again. Last one on this. Now we're on to the C to D. E minor. Did you remember that one at the end? Okay, let's pause on that one then. I think that's plenty of brown-eyed girl. Hopefully you get the idea. You can take a plastic strummy thing and just make a really simple finger picking pattern, matching the rhythm that you know and are familiar with. We're not doing any real fancy dancing with our fingers, it's just fairly basic. The next one is even more basic. The next song is going to be the easy peasy. So in terms of, it's an A chord for lots of bars, and it's an E chord for lots of bars. I'm going to bring that up on screen so you can just get a look at it, but then there's something I want to mention to you. Right. Let me get rid of that one for a second. Where's song number 2? There's song number 2. Okay, so that is going to be your rhythm pattern. So take a moment, look over that rhythm pattern. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, down, up, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, down, up, down, up, down. It's faster than that, but that's the basic idea. The chords are going to be A and E. Now the pattern will come along in a minute, but just, you know, if you want to get going with that, do 2 on each. That's how it's going to sound as a strumming pattern. Okay, so I'll just leave that with you for a moment while just a word from our sponsors. So if you've never been to any of these clubs before, then, you know, a delayed but a very warm welcome to the vintage JustinGuitar Clubs and this vintage club. All of these are hosted by JustinGuitar, and if you know anything about JustinGuitar, all of this is not new to me, but otherwise it is. So JustinGuitar is an online instructional, educational guitar site packed with courses, premium lessons, and many more free resources. You know, 90+% of JustinGuitar is free. If you're interested in these live clubs, there are various types hosted by approved teachers. I'm one of Justin's approved teachers. You know, I do this, and I also do various behind the scenes work, and I'm available for online tuition. If you want to get involved in the clubs, dead easy, just go to Justin Guitar, create an account for free, sign up for the newsletters, for updates, sign in for the club materials. There'll be free materials available for this if you haven't already got them. Register for the clubs. After the session, you can chat about them by visiting the forum, the Justin Guitar Community Forum, or you can join one of the WhatsApp groups. If you like this video, thumbs up, all of that stuff. Subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, because this is where all are hosted, as well as the community open mics. Okay, that's the word from the sponsor. Let's look at the song then. Let's get back into it. Down, down, up, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. There's our chord progression. It's actually 3 bars on A, 4 bars on E, and then another bar on A at the end. So actually when you loop it, it's like 4 A's, 4 E's, 4 A's, 4 E's, 4 A's, 4 E's. So it's going to be a little bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, did anybody guess what that was? Can anybody guess what it is from that? You've just got basic chords. There's not a lot going on, is there? A's and E's. You're going to cringe. The reason I didn't put this one in first is I didn't want half the audience to turn off, because it's Achy Breaky Heart. Of course it is. Why did I pick this? Well, I didn't pick it because it's the best song in the world. It's all right, you know, it must be all right. It's sold many, many, many copies, hasn't it, around the world, and streamed goodness knows how many millions. Little wing again, somebody's put. But it's 2 chords, so it's accessible to the most raw, basic beginner guitarist who only knows 2 chords. I didn't want to pick the Mavericks, Dance the Night Away, because it's super fast. It's, you know, way too up there in terms of tempo. This one we can play at a more pedestrian pace, and we're going to take that rhythm. Remember, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is going to be the rhythm with which we pick. The thumb once again is going to play just beat 1, and this time we are purely playing thumb, and then our fingers walk up the strings to a higher pitch, and as soon as we reach the top string, we start walking back down again. So for an A chord, it's going to be, I should say, we're missing out string 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Let me get both my camera views up. Oop, I've just knocked my cup of tea. Everything's going wrong today. Okay, A chord. Thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. This view. So what the fingers are doing will be the same for an E chord, but your thumb now has to go to string 6. All you need to do is keep time and climb up and climb back down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Back to A. And then you repeat the process. Now notice that I've slowed it right down here because this is aimed at beginners. I can go a little bit slower still, and I'll do that in the first instance. Okay, there's the tab coming up. Where are you? Yeah, there's the tab. So you can see there, the A's, they are all the same. 3 at the beginning and 1 at the end. 5th string, and then 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's the strings. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then on the E chord, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, is everybody ready? I hope so. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3. Go into E. We've got 3 more E's. Back to A. Go into E. Sing along if you know the song. Okay, is that enough for that one? Shall we do it one more time a little bit quicker? Yeah, let's do it one more time a little bit quicker. And then people can start thinking about line dancing and all of that stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. E. Go into A for the last time. Okay, right, enough of that one. So we've got 2 songs already. A strumming pattern, a rhythm pattern that fits the song, that you might have learnt the song when you were first learning how to strum them. But now you've got some kind of fingerstyle version of it. Okay, we have one more song. Before we go on to it, because it's in 3 parts and it's a little bit more complex, have we got any questions or anything I need addressing? Let me just go and look down in the comments. Somebody, it's Miles. Oh, Miles, it's you doing it, isn't it? I've just realised. One of the things my computer screen did was it made the chat tiny, so you know I can't normally read it very easily without my glasses, and today's worse. Just realised it's Miles who keeps talking about Little Wing. What's that? Imagine 18 people scattered around the world all going to bed with an achy breaky heart stuck in. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Have I given you an earworm? Okay, here's a question. This is a question. Come on, have a question. From Jin Lynch. Is it possible or okay to play the last note while switching to the next chord, like you can strumming? So you're releasing the chord shape with the fretting hand while still playing the fingering. What a terrific question. Well, so far, and on purpose, I've avoided putting in any note on the and after 4. Because again, I want to make this accessible to everybody. And I know that the beginner stages, chord changes are the main obstacle, getting them in time. So if you have an and after 4 that you've got to hit, it gives you half the time to change chord if you're strumming 4 and then changing, or if you're strumming 4 and change. So it is with the fingerstyle as well. But there is a way around that. So let's say, I don't know, Brown Eyed Girl. The strumming was down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, down, up. You did an up at the end, the and after 4. Well, yeah, you could put that into the picking pattern but release the chord grip so that instead of that being a fretted note, therefore you have to wait to change chord, you could make it an open string of whatever the string is that you were targeting. So this is what we had for Brown Eyed Girl. That was 1, 2, and 4. But if we say, let's say the second string is going to be the and after 4. Well, it's open here, so that's all right, and I'm changing it to C. But that's a fretted note, so I could release that and go back to G, maybe like that. Let's try it. It can work. You might want to change the string that you're hitting depending on what chord you're leaving and what chord you're going to. So say going from C to G or going from D to G, instead of hitting that second string as an open and after 4, you might actually want to hit the third string. Is the note G. It precedes the chord G. So it's a nice harbinger of the arrival of that chord. Great, thank you. Right, shall we move on to Little Wing? Is that a question? Okay, I think it's people answering each other's questions, so I'm going to move on. Right, okay, so our last song. Did anybody guess it, by the way? Has anybody got this one? If I bring it in. I don't know if anybody has. Song number 3. How long have we got? We've just got 20 odd minutes or so. There it is, song 3, part A. Okay, so there are multiple parts to this. I'm just going to have a bit of my cup of tea. 1 and 2 and 3 with an and at the end, the and after 4. Oh, but goodness me, we're missing the 4 and we're missing the and after 3. So the strumming pattern is 1 and 2 and 3. And 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. 4 is missing, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3. Now it also starts with a little, there's a pickup bar, so the whole thing actually should start with an and before you even begin the counting. But obviously it isn't marked on there on the screen. As soon as you start playing through and looping it, that will come in. Okay, so our picking pattern is going to be 1 and 2 and 3. And the and after 4, and I'm going to ask if you can actually hold on to the chord, unlike my answer to Jim. Try and hold on to the chord. The first chord progression isn't so difficult. Look, 2 bars on D, 2 bars on G. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 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 3. Okay, has anybody guessed this song yet? I wonder. I haven't seen anything that says it's not Stairway. What about if I played it like this? Anybody know what it is yet? Something heroic from Mr. Bowie. I could be king and you could be queen. Okay, so we're playing Heroes by David Bowie. Nice and simple. So the D to the G, that happens a lot. Again, like in Brown Eyed Girl, it's not just the intro, but it's actually the main chunk of the first bit of the verse So what we're going to be doing for a picking pattern here is shown on the tab there. I'll show you on the guitar on the closer as well. We are basically playing the thumb root note on beat 1, and then our fingers are walking up to the top and then the back down again. So on the D chord, so I'll that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. So when it goes to the G chord, you've just played that note on the G string. Jim's idea was you lift that finger away, you might lift that chord away and play that string open. Well, if you do, it doesn't really matter. And then on the G chord, I'm gonna use the like the stuck 3 and 4 grip, because going between G and stuck 3 and 4 G is easier. Okay, so let's show you that just on the guitar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 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 and I wish I could swim. I won't sing, sorry. And 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. I'm actually using the stuck 3 version, but notice my index finger, I'm not putting it down because I don't need to, because I'm going from string 6 to string 3. I'm missing out these anyway. If you put it down, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the first bit. You've got it sussed, hopefully, because there's a second and a third bit. Let me bring those in. Okay, parts B and C. Now, you can play both of these with the same rhythm, and the rhythm is 1 and 2, and 4 and 1 and 2. So it looks like it's disjointed at first, where you've got 3 hits, and then a gap, and then 3 hits. But when you think about the fact that these are bars of music that join together, and 4 and, pardon me, connect to the next 1 and 2. So it flows into each other, and you end up with 1 and 2, and 4 and 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 1 and 2, and so on and so on and so on. So let's see what chords that is on. 3 rows of 4, so it's a 12-bar section. Notice that every section, or every row, ends with 2 bars on D. So we've got 2 C's and 2 D's. The middle row is the odd one out because it's 1 bar each of 2 chords, A minor, E minor, then on to D. Oh, sorry, no, it's not the odd one out because the next one does it as well. 1 bar of C, 1 bar of G, 2 Ds. Okay, so remember 1 and 2, and 4 and 1 and 2, and 4 and is our strumming pattern. It will become our picking pattern, but let's strum it first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, and 4 and 1 and 2, and 4 and D and 2, and 4 and 1 and 2, and 4 and A minor, and 4 and E minor, and 4 and D. C. Okay, so we're going to replace those strumming patterns with the same rhythm but picked. It's a lot on the screen, so what I'm going to do is make me disappear and just have that visible so it's a bit bigger for you. Oh no, I'm still down at the bottom. 1 second. Maybe that's better. Same idea. We are climbing up and then we are climbing back down. Root note on beat 1. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, then back down, middle, index. So on the C chord it would be that's 1 and 2 and 4 and. On the D chord, on the A minor, E minor, now the C chord is hidden but we've got it up at the top, G, okay, so because this one is a bit more complex, I'm just going to put that back in. I am going to leave the tab still on screen. I know it's quite small now, but for us to play through this entire section using this particular pattern with the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and D and 4 and 4 and E minor, E minor, D. Last row. Let's keep going, and again, C all the way from top. Okay, so that's part B and C, which means that we can play, well, play the whole song. I do have an alternative version for part C. When I say part C, I'm meaning the bottom row there, just that bottom row of 4 chords, but I'll come on to that later. I want to go to the entire song chord structure like that and play it using what we've already learned. So here's a reminder. For that top bit, you'd play it twice for the intro. We're going to miss out that bit. We're just going to play it twice, which is like the start of the verse. And then you move on to the next 12 bars. That's when the pattern shifts. So on the top row, the 2 repeats, that's 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. And then the bottom 12 bars, 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and. Okay. I'm going to make, look, I've made at least 2 mistakes that I've really noticed myself already. If I make a mistake, hey, it's all right, and it's okay if you make mistakes as well. Here we go. I'll do it at a modest tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and... What did I tell you? I shouldn't have said anything. I've messed up even before we got out of bar 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 and 2 and we're going to C. 1 and 2 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 4 and... Okay, who made a mistake? I made 2 at least in that. So shall we do it again? Okay, here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Change it up. 1 and 2 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 4 and... Phew, I think I did that one a little bit better. Did you? That's the main thing. Did you do it better, Owen? Okay. I said that there was another little variation I've got in. I mean, there's a few little bits that I put in here that I quite enjoy doing. On the song, there's goodness knows how many guitar parts, and one of them, it does this thing. Something like that. And there's a bit that I like to incorporate into the picking where you... And you can bring that in as well, but I'm not going to talk about that today. But what I am going to talk about is that last bit where it's like the refrain, we could be heroes just for one day. And if you were strumming that, you probably bring a little bit of an extra dynamic to it. You might go... So it's got more energy. It's the big moment of the whole song. So instead of strumming those 3 chords, the C, then the G, and then the 2 Ds, sorry, instead of picking them with the 1 and 2 and 4 and pattern, you might want to make that one busier and strum all 8ths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So I want to bring that up on screen just for people who maybe want a little bit of a challenge on it. I passed it by. So that would be the count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on those chords we could be heroes just for one day. It's the last bit of each verse, the refrain. And that would be the picking that I'm going to recommend, but you could vary it. You don't have to stick with this. So we've got thumb, index, middle ring, middle, index, and then the thumb shifts to string 4 on beat 4 before the index plays the and after 4. So you've got 2 thumb notes, one is on beat 1 and one is on beat 4. The same on the G and the D. But because the D chord has a note on string 4 anyway, you don't have to change strings, it's already there on that string. So just one playthrough on that, and then I think we're kind of up on time, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's put the whole song back together. We'll play it through one more. If you want to have a go at this thing when it comes to the C, G, D, D, have a go at that instead. Right, fingers crossed. I'm going to do the simpler one, just because I think most people are going to go with that style. So remember, we're starting out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 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 and again, and 1 and 2 and 3, 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 changing C, 1 and 2 and 4 and A minor, take your pick. Okay. If we had 2 hours, we'd push out and push out and push out, and make it into the most streamlined, smooth, fantastic, efficient, at full tempo version that we could. But that's for you to do. That's for you to take away and do in your own time, of course. Me, I'm just passing this on to you as something that you may want to work at and learn and practice and incorporate into your repertoire instead of strumming the song. And you might not have ever played this song as a strum one, so you've got that also to learn and work on. If anybody wants to learn the bit, hit me up and maybe I can teach it to you. Okay, have we got questions? Have we got questions, folks? That's the playing bit and the demo bit over and done with. Let's see what we've got. Oh no, somebody's saying the extra bit I mentioned, could I repeat it please? Okay, so yeah, it was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One and 2 and 3 and so that's just climbing up and climbing back down. But when you've climbed back down all the way to the 3rd string, that's how a finger's done, isn't it? So we've reached string 4, but that means we're going with our thumb on string 4, and the timing of that is beat 4. But we're bouncing off that wall to climb back up again, but we've only got time in the bar to climb up one more string. So it's going to be 4th string thumb, 5th string index finger. On all of those chords. Okay, hopefully that's answered it. Okay, very nice comment there from Ken. Thank you. Well, I won't put it in because it's not a question, but appreciating the lesson and the content. Gosh, you see how close I'm having to lean in? I wonder if I could increase. Oh, right, that's a bit better. Yeah. Any questions? Somebody else is saying thank you for the materials. And somebody mentioned the sense of humor. Well, hey, you know, I'm just one of you guys. I'm an old vintage fartage guitar player who's a million miles away from being a virtuoso. So I make mistakes all the time, and if I didn't laugh at them, then it'd be a sad day. Why is finger picking not done so often on an electric guitar? From Dick Plum. Do you know what? It is by many players, but for some reason it has this acoustic association. But there are players whose electric playing is pretty much exclusively done with fingers. For example, Mark Knopfler, Lindsey Buckingham, they're just two. Chet Atkins from a previous generation, he played electrics, you know, big old box ones, but he played electrics and he was known as a fingerstyle player. So it's not just acoustic. You can do it on an electric. It's a different feel. You'll be amplified, and so you'll be needing to maybe pull the strings with a lighter touch. Whereas on an acoustic, you may be giving it a bit more of a thwack. Not too much, but just, you know, a little bit more. But it's definitely doable on both. Jeff Beck, somebody mentioned, yeah, Jeff Beck, he went exclusively with his fingers, and, well, I think he had all sorts of, did he have 10 fingers or something, whatever he did. Okay, this is not a question, but it's a comment worth bringing in. I'm able to sing when strumming, but not when doing it during finger picking. So what that is telling us here is that your finger picking isn't automatic enough yet, because if you're going to be doing the multitask thing, you need both of them to be pretty well sorted and automatic. So if you can, I could be king. I can't sing, so bear with me. If you can do both of those while you're strumming, it means that the strumming is something you've worked at lots and you've got it sorted. I could be king. Whereas if you struggle to sing over the top of that, it means work more on the finger picking, because that's got to become way more automatic. You've got to be able to talk, pick at the same time, sort of look out the window and describe the scene out your window and think about what you're going to have for your supper, or, you know, it's got, I fluffed there, didn't I? But it's got to be worked out. It just doesn't come automatically, because it's a different skill. Oh, Wayne, come on. He says, you can sing. You're too kind. Yeah, Carlos is saying the same thing. Singing and finger picking, the synchronization. Just work on the finger picking. Maybe the way into it is using your mouth for the count, like I was doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So that you, at least you get used to doing vocalization as you're picking. And that's, it's not the same as singing, because the vocal phrasing won't match that rhythm, but it might help towards it at least. Dominic 007, I should sing more often. Don't express wishes that you... can you cover anchoring little finger and where, Richard? Okay, I'll bring that one in. I'm not a little finger anchorer. I know that this is the main recommendation for a lot of fingerstyle. So that would just secure your hand in position. I'll have to sit up a bit because the question is in the way. If you do that, the main thing to remember is you're not pressing your finger in and bending it back and making the blood be cut off and the circulation to your fingertip. You're not pressing, it's gently resting. So it could even slide about. You know, if you moved your hand, because there's so little pressure on, it's just there to hold your hand in position so that these digits know where they are at any point in time, and they can always fall to the right string. What I tend to do instead, I use the back of the outside edge of the palm of my hand resting on the bridge, and so my little finger, you'll see it doesn't touch, but because my hand is in contact, and actually most of my foot, I can't get a good angle of that, most of my forearm is also in contact. My hand isn't floating in the sense like I'm not coming over here like that. Can you see that? I think that's bad form. Now a classical guitarist might do that and they'd say, I'm telling you bad advice here. But I just find that so weird. And if I want to play, let's say, the third string, oh, I think I've missed it. I'm guessing, because my hand has no point of reference. As soon as I put this down, I know where the third string is. My hand is accustomed to the feel of that and where each string is. That's the second string. That's the fifth string. I'm not looking with my eyes, I can tell because my hand is touching. But that does the same job if you want to go with a little finger anchor. Okay. I'm not sure that this is a question or a comment about the session, but my uncle fiddled with his beard from NT Clapper. Have we gone down the strange comment route? Yeah, we have. Okay, so I think, shall we call it time? Please like, please subscribe, do all of that business. You know, I did word from the sponsor. Sign up for Justin Guitar and the newsletters and register for clubs if you haven't. Oh, goodness me, we do have a question. Flying in at the very last second from Ashu, a beat up 6 string. I know it's late. I know it's late. That's a song, isn't it? I know you're weary. But can you cover palm muting with the bass string? Is the palm mute removed when playing the melody parts with the finger? I find it hard to position the fingers when palm muting. Okay. So what Ashu is referring to here is if you're playing a palm mute with fingerstyle, what you're probably going to be muting are those thumb notes. In the style that we were just employing, less so, because you want them to ring out. We were only them once in the bar. I'll just remove that so you can see my hand. There's a style of playing where you use your thumb way more times. I'm using my thumb 4 times in the bar there. And I don't want that muted. If I muted it, can you hear? Has a different effect. And the way that I'm muting it is, again, it's just this outer edge of my palm, but selectively placed so that it's on the thick strings, but not the thin strings, because I want my bass notes to be slightly muted and my melody notes, my notes, to ring out clean. You might get that in kind of more bluesy finger picking. Speaking of which, look at the new Justin course on fingerstyle blues called Solo Blues, confusingly for some, where he looks at this technique, and one of the things that you would do in there is maybe mute that because you want that to have a percussive feel. But it's all about this, the outer edge of your hand. Okay, Lauren is out of here, and so I should probably also say goodbye and be out of here too. I think I've got all of the questions. Look, if I've missed any questions, I apologise. There was a lot of comments in there, and I can't keep up. Please do go to the forum, or also go to the WhatsApp chat group. The forum, the community, is probably the busier of the places, and where I am able to expand and provide fuller, more comprehensive answers with diagrams and so on if necessary. But I monitor both, and I'll respond to both. I'm there daily. You can't keep me away. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you once again. Thank you everybody for attending. I'm going to do another one in December. It'll be the second Monday in December. Let me see what date that is. It will be Monday the 8th. And I'm tempted, let me know what you think about this, to do a fingerstyle version of a festive song. Maybe. I might just do that, because I had a lesson with a student today, and I did a fingerstyle version of a festive song, and I quite enjoyed it. So, I might bring that out into the light of day. Okay, adios, goodbye, take care everybody.